Welcome back. Less than 150 days now to the November election, and the rhetoric in the race for U.S. Senate is beginning to heat up. In pursuit of absolutely critical independent voters, challenger Colin Allred appears to be projecting a moderate message on the border and Israel while attempting to stoke pre-existing animus against the incumbent. For his part, Ted Cruz is dancing with what brung him, bashing Joe Biden on the border, on lukewarm support for Israel, and everything else. Rudy, every poll I've seen has Cruz in the lead, anywhere between 5 and 13 points. Can Biden's move on border security help Allred close the gap?
Greg, I think it certainly will be a big part of his ad campaign, which is why my word was blitz, as in media blitz. Over the next 4 months, TVs, radios, computers, smartphones, they're going to be filled with a lot of political spin from the Democrats and from Colin Allred. And they have to. The polls already, as you mentioned, have Cruz up by double digits, and that's before the New York Trump verdict took place. Now the GOP base, they're really fired up, like the Democrats were fired up after the abortion ruling, which swamped that expected red tsunami 2 years ago. So I'm expecting a media blitz that doesn't show what's really happening down on the border. Ads that ignore the fact that Biden's newfound executive order pen still allows 50,000 illegal crossings a month. Let's put that in perspective, shall we? 50,000 is essentially the population of the towns of like Rockwall, Port Arthur, and Hutto here in the Central Texas area. Political analysts say Allred will throw the old playbook out the door. You're not going to see a big statewide shoe leather campaign like we saw with Beto O'Rourke trying in his campaign against Ted Cruz. It's going to be a big media buy, a big media blitz campaign with a lot of razzle-dazzle from the former football player, designed to draw in moderates and independents, just like a weak secondary that gets burned on a Hail Mary pass. So on the flip side, you can expect to see an ad blitz from Cruz. That includes noting how Allred recently attended an event in Dallas where cards were handed out with information on them that showed how undocumented immigrants can avoid law enforcement and avoid deportation efforts. So in the end, with this blitz, someone's going to get sacked.
Rudy with a metaphorical blitz. I like it. Stephen, same question to you. Can the president's executive order help Allred, assuming, of course, the measure succeeds in slowing the number of illegal crossings?
I don't think it helps him, but it certainly doesn't hurt him. Look, let's be real. The Allred and any Democrat trying to win statewide in Texas is already at a big disadvantage. He's going to have to really concentrate on trying to get independents and also making sure that Democrats actually turn out to vote. Now, the Trump base is energized because now he's a convicted felon, so they have some momentum and energy. Allred's going to have to walk a tightrope. That's why I use that word. And he's also going to have to be uncomfortable. He's going to have to start doing some things. He's going to have to start mudslinging things that he may not be comfortable with doing, but I think that can be the only winning strategy to try to take down someone like Ted Cruz.
Okay, on the issue of Israel, Gaza, and Hamas, we have some pretty clear separation here between the two, with Allred backing the Biden policy of restraint and détente, and Senator Cruz offering unconditional support of Hamas elimination by whatever means necessary. Rudy, could these positions factor into the outcome?
Greg, Stephen did a great job crunching those numbers, and so let's crunch some more. In November of 2023, a poll indicated more than 60% of Jewish voters giving Joe Biden a high job approval, including support on how he was dealing with the war against Hamas. Now, traditionally, Democrats win most of the American Jewish vote, but lately, some are indicating, seeing a possible shift that is underway. Not necessarily a big one, but a shift nonetheless. So a poll earlier this year in New York indicated more than 50% of American Jewish voters there in New York say that they intend to vote for Trump. Now, I haven't seen any kind of similar polling here in Texas regarding that on that point, but Allred and the Democrats, and here's my point, they're already working from a voting deficit. Stephen, again, touching on that, and so that's all based on voter turnout. Traditionally, GOP has a stronger voter turnout. So even a small drop in the Jewish support here in Texas, that's going to hurt on Election Day.
Quickly, Stephen, Congressman Allred likes to characterize Cruz as a me guy and not a we guy, hoping to capitalize on what he clearly believes is a pervasive dislike of the incumbent. Is this a strategy that can work?
I mean, Yeah, can it work? Yeah, with a lot of money and a lot of money to get his name out there, and then Democrats have to turn out.
We're going to have to leave it there. To see this episode, go to our station's YouTube pages.
And keep the conversation going by interacting with us on social media.
And join us next week as we continue the ball rolling on hot topics. And don't forget, let us know what you think the issue is.